Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Naresh and in this video we are going to look at how to check in code in GitHub. So let's get started. Now before you get started, please make sure that you have gone through this video connecting to GitHub using SSH. I will provide the link of this video in the description that you are watching. This helps you to connect to GitHub using SSH, which is more secure, and you can eliminate the use of username and password. Now there are various ways in which you can check in your code in GitHub. I will be taking you through different approaches. In this video, I'll take the easiest and the simplest approach. So let me open my GitHub. Now as you can see, this is my GitHub page and I'm already logged in. I'm going to click on the new button here. Now once I click on the new button, it is giving me an option to create a new repository. First, GitHub project. Now there are two options, either to keep the repository as public or private. In this particular case, I'm going to keep it as public. You can also add README file. I'll leave it unchecked. And then I'll come down and I'll click on create repository. So it is creating the repository for me, and as soon as the repository is created, you will see that this page is displayed for you and it has various commands. Now let me go and open my terminal. I'm on my Mac machine and this is the terminal which I have opened. Let me say pwd present working directory. So I'm in this particular location. In your case, you can choose a location whichever you want. Now what I'm going to do is I'll go back to the GitHub, and as you can see, there is a option where SSH is enabled here. Now I'll keep that option enabled and I'll click on this option here to copy this URL. As you can see, this particular URL I'm going to copy. So let me copy this. Now this is copied. I have already clicked on that option and I'll go back to the terminal. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to clone the repository. What does it mean to clone a repository? That you already have a repository on GitHub and you are making a clone or a copy of that repository on your local machine. So I'll go back to the terminal and I'll say git clone and I'll right click and paste that link. Paste. As you can see, this is the link which I have just copied from GitHub, and I'll hit enter. Now before I proceed, just wanted to make sure that you understand that as you can see here, I can also switch between HTTPS and SSH. Now I have chosen to make use of SSH here, and therefore please make sure that you have already enabled connectivity to GitHub using SSH. I'm going to provide the link to that video in the description of this particular tutorial. So coming back to the terminal, I have already cloned my repository, and as you can see that it is prompting that you appear to have cloned empty repository. Don't worry about that. Now what I'm going to do is that I'll cd to that directory or the repository. Cd means change into that directory. cd fir, and I'll hit tab and I'll go inside that directory. Now here I'll say ls and I'll hit enter. As you can see, in this particular directory there are no files, there are no folders, meaning that it is a empty repository that we have cloned. Now let me change this command a little bit. I'll say ls space minus altr. A is used to display hidden files and folders, and I'll hit enter. Now you can see that it also shows .git, which is a hidden folder which was created when you checked out or cloned the repository. In case of Windows, you will have to enable how to view the hidden folders in your machine. Now it means that the Git repository has already been created. Now what we have to do is we have to check in the code into the repository. I'll create a file in this project. So I can say I'll open my VI editor and I'll say VI first.txt, hit enter. Inside this I'll type hello welcome to Git, and then I'll escape and I'll save and quit this editor. So as you can see, I have created first.txt and now I have to check in this file. Now what we will do is, first of all we will say git add dot. Now what this does is this command will add this file in the repository. After that I'll say git commit -m space and I will give a comment my first commit. This is inside the double quotes. You can give anything that you want, and I'll again hit enter. Now it shows some messages wherein you might have to do some git config global settings and other settings. I'll proceed without doing anything else for now. So we have added the file, we have committed the file. Now we have to push the file into the repository. So all the commands that I'm showing here were already generated for you when you created your first GitHub project. So I have executed the following command: git add, and then I gave dot instead of giving the name of the file readme.md, and then I have said git commit. These two commands were executed. Now next what you want to do is you will just fire this command git push -u origin main. So this will push the code from your local repository into the GitHub repository. So let's execute that command. So as you can see, the command is executed successfully and it says writing object 100% is done, right? Now let's go back to the GitHub and I'll refresh this. And now you can see that you have your file which you created locally is available on GitHub. Let me click on this particular file, first.txt. It has the same text as was on the original file when you created it locally. So this is how simple it is to check in your code into GitHub. That's all in this video. Thank you so much.